Oakley dokley neighborroonies. Here we are 2, if not maybe 4 hours later, 3 hours later. I had to walk away from it. Which is kind of funny, but it's the truth. I was really worried that I had actually broken the movement, putting the stem in. I didn't break the movement, but what I did do, I should be wearing finger cots, but I'm not. What I did do, and I highly doubt it's going to show up, what I ended up doing, this is the new movement that I haven't used. What I ended up doing was pushing this over center on this movement here. And I didn't realize what I had done. So I panicked. I thought I broke the movement. I didn't break the movement. All I did was, I didn't break the movement. All I did was push a spring out of the way, and then when I went to go put the movement back together, the second time, the face fell off into the case, and not for nothing, but it really pissed me off, and I said, "Fuck this," and I got up and I walked away. Decades of experience with fiddling with little intricate things has taught me that every once in a while, your best plan of action is to pack up your shit and walk away, because then it's not fun anymore. And when that movement popped apart like it did, this project became not fun anymore, and I needed to walk away from it. And that's what I did. Because, wow, that was really disheartening when that happened. But truth be told, it's not the end of the world. It wasn't the end of the world. Thank God I had this other movement sitting here. Thank God I had the other movement sitting here to let me know that, no, you didn't really screw it up. I didn't really screw it up. At least I don't think I did. I actually haven't. I should probably check. I got so mad. I got so mad I walked away. So let's check here that this is going to go in here. I'm being not as delicate as I should be with this at this point, which is probably foolish, but as we all know, I'm foolish. Okay, so that goes in there. I think that wants to go in there like that, but it's doing the same shit. Ooh. I need a movement holder. No, I'm not sold. I'm not sold that I didn't totally fuck something up yet. But it's a shame. I wish I had a better camera for this. And maybe I'll try to take a picture of it with my iPhone and show exactly what happened, because I can't imagine I'm the first guy to have that happen by any stretch of the imagination. And then this got fiddly on me again when I popped it apart. This just wants to fall in there. There we go, just like that. So I had that in there, and I had that in there. And then when I went to go stick this in here is when I started to have a little bit of problems. I'm not sure why. Oh, see, there it goes. Now it's fine. So I must have just got something a little funky when I was going to go put it back together. So ironically, let's set this This down here, this down on here. I still haven't decided on whether or not we're going to bother with this video at all. But so part of this project, or part of what I actually plan on doing with this, is I will probably eventually disassemble this other movement and see if I can get it to do, see if I can actually disassemble a movement and then put it back together. I'm not going to clean it. I'm just going to take it apart and I'm going to reassemble it just to see if I can do it, because I have a spare movement. I have another watch over there actually that is really the one I want to fix, the one I really want to take apart and service and clean and whatever. And that's an old all right, so that, and that one's an old 1950s Stetson that I got from my Uncle George's house. It was probably my great-grandmom's. My assumption is it was my great-grandmother's. Gotta be careful. It's that fucking rotor is in my way again. Before the end of the day today, I do believe that I will be ordering a movement holder. So the only part of this whole system that I'm really honestly disappointed with, this should come with a movement holder as part of the toolkit, and it doesn't. And that's definitely something that kind of I don't want to say pisses me off, because that would be harsh to say. But it's something that should come with the system, and it doesn't. You know, it should come with the kit, is the movement holder, and it doesn't come with the movement holder, and it really does make doing this job considerably more difficult than I think it needs to be. You know, a pennies on the dollar movement holder, like even like a cheap plastic one, even just, I think it would make my personal opinion is it would make the project, well, make the project go a little bit smoother for someone like myself, and B, give it just that one little bit of extra I don't know what you want to call it, make it just a little special, make it a little more special, I guess would be a way to put it. You know, I had a little trouble with this the first time. I don't think this is actually, I don't think this is actually right. The face just fell on, and I don't think it's supposed to just fall on. I think it's supposed to actually go into a certain place. I'm damaging this fucking face, and it's bothering me. Now the nice thing is it does have a little notch on it. See, this is where you need that movement holder. Yeah, see, that's not right. So it either goes, I don't think it goes in that hole, because there's no corresponding hole on this side. There is a corresponding hole here. So this is one of those, oh, so that goes in there. Oh, goes in there like that. And then in there like that. But it doesn't really, it's not really sitting in there very nicely. It's not very tight. This is what got me in trouble putting this thing together the last time. Just a little. So this is where I dropped the ball figuratively and literally last time. Just do a quick little. I went to go put this in, and everything fell apart at the same time. So just like that. So the face. If it's not one thing, it's another. The battery died on my GoPro while I was fiddling with this. It was kind of funny, really. It's like one more thing, right? One more thing to irritate me. This is what kind of messed. This is why I walked away from. This is why I walked away from this earlier. So I think what I did. I guess I should stop saying oop, oop, oop. I think what I did when I put this together the first time was I didn't have something completely lined up or set in as far as it should be. And I kind of have the same thing going on again. This part is definitely, this is a lot different than the diver. I don't know if it's a lot different, but it's definitely different than the diver. In that it just doesn't want to sit right or seat right. I'm kind of bummed out. I mean, oh man, look at all that dirt. And I think that's all on the inside. Alright, well, let's go back to where we were. We gotta pry this back out. Hope the face doesn't come off. Shit. Well, there we go again. I got everything all screwy again. And that wants to be there. That wants to be more in. Yeah, see, the face keeps falling off. I'm going to have to actually... The instructions tell you to make sure that the instructions tell you to make sure that the hands are not that these little doohickeys here are not bent. I may actually have to bend them a little bit to get them to hold into position. Back to cleaning this out again. So yeah, I walked away. Like I said, extensive experience with stupid shit has taught me that it's almost always in your best interest to wander off. When you have something go south that quickly or that bad, your best interest is to walk away completely, which is exactly what I did. Yeah, which is exactly what I did. I needed to take a break. I needed to walk away. And Interestingly enough, it looks like this thing's actually supposed to have screws that hold the face in, but there's no screws that come with it. So why this isn't going together the way it's supposed to is probably because twitchy idiot. There we go. Oh! I need a movement holder. Yeah, I keep saying that, but yet I still keep fucking with this thing. I don't quite understand why it's doing what it's doing. Or why I don't quite understand why I'm having so much trouble getting this to go into this holder and stay in this holder. This thing should click in and just like click in. And for whatever reason, it's not doing that. I'm not necessarily blaming the watch. Yeah, that really wants to not have me push on it. There's a little ring around the outside of this that really seems like it wants to be pressed into. But for whatever reason, like this thing shouldn't just fly out of here like it's doing. And then I get twitchy because the movement stopped running. But it stopped running because it stopped running. Oh no. The little tiny flecks of dust will drive you bug shit. And it just seems like there's something that's not quite right here. It definitely looks like it wants to have I said I don't want to bend the rotor. I am being incredibly careful here. I know it doesn't look like I am, but I really am. Let's put it this way: I'm being as careful as I've seen any of the other watch guys be. But then again, that's on video, so you never really know actually how gentle they are being. The other thing is, I do believe if I'm gonna keep fucking with this stuff, that I need to maybe invest in a little bit better stuff, like tool wise. You're an asshole. Ay, ay, ay. Can I not be a fucking idiot for like 2 minutes? 2 minutes. No pun intended. No, I was lazy and I didn't take the hands back off. So that goes in that hole. That goes in that hole right there. I think. Yeah, that goes in there. So that one's in there, that one's in there. That's in there. Okay, so now we're back to square one again for like the 5th time. This is fun. This dial actually seems like it's a little bit more, I don't want to say forgiving, but definitely a little bit more forgiving is not the word I'm looking for with this thing, because this one is definitely not forgiving. The hardest part of the diver was getting the hands on. So far, the hardest part of this is just getting it into the goddamn case. Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say I am not going to fight with that dust that's in the case. There is a little bit of dust in the case, but to be honest, I don't think... Ah, there we go. Oh, yeah, there we go. So the rotor is still moving freely, which is important. Yeah, see, the rotor's fine. So I have been a little concerned. Something else just went blink. I've been slightly concerned with that. All right, so let's see if we can get the hands in. So this is about as far as we got last time before shit went sideways. And why that's doing that, I'm not exactly sure. I'm going to use it. Let me just push this pin down. Oh, it's not what I wanted to do. Yeah, see, I'm right back to where I was here. Oh. This is the exact point I was at earlier when everything fucked up. And I'm not sure why. Oh, wait a minute. Ah. Now, let's check to make sure. Check to make sure everything works here. Okay, so that doesn't do anything until you pull it open. And then you can set the time, which is kind of important. And then push it in. And shit turns, but it doesn't do anything. Perfect. Huh. See, now this is like a perfect example of walk away from it. walk away from it before you get really mad. Alright, now we're going to put the back on. I guess I should have checked that before I dropped it on there, huh? Aha. So I'm going to just going to hit this with the blower a little. I noticed when I did this the very first time, like as soon as I opened the box, actually I noticed there was a considerable amount of dirt in the casing here. And I said, this is not the ideal place to do this project. This really should be done in an actual clean place here. Don't blow with your mouth because you put moisture in it. Oh yeah, this is water resistant. So there is a little one of the guys I watch uses a Magic 8-ball squeezy toy for this. It actually works really good. do something that's probably not a great idea, but I'm going to do it anyway. This does have a gasket in it, so I discussed that earlier. So you do kind of need to use the tool to get it tight. I'm hoping, and it didn't come with any. When I took my other watch apart the other day, I put a little drop of lubricant on the. I put a little drop of lubrication on the. All right, so we can take these goddamn finger cuts off. Actually, what I do is put this back together. So this is the movement that I took out. This is the movement that I used to figure out how I screwed it up. And like I said, it's never going to show up on camera here. But this one, but I can show it in that there was this spring had jumped over center when I stuck the crown in, and really created a good bit of chaos when I did that. But, you know, that's how you learn. You know, every failure, anytime you have a failure at something, see, now this one goes right together. I think there's something screwy with that one. Anytime you have a failure at anything, that's a good thing. You know, your failures are your stepping stone to success. So there's that. How's that for fatherly advice? Okay. I'm going to put a piece of tape back on this thing. All right, so the rest of this project is actually, I hate to say bullshit, but the rest of this project is actually kind of bullshitty. If you don't know how to do this, if you can't do this part of the project, then this is not the project for you. And basically the next part of the project is we're just going to put the I'm going to put the strap on. Now the straps, if you can't change the strap on a watch, then literally this project is not for you in any way, shape, or form. This is I don't want to say watchmaking 101, but this is definitely something that if you can't change the strap on a watch, do not. Let that sucker go. Make sure the hands aren't spinning around that fast. Right. Oh, so this is my diver, and this is the new strap I put on my diver. Now, ironically, as I'm bitching about straps, I had a little trouble putting this strap on for a couple reasons. One is I didn't like the way it came threaded from the factory, but as it turns out, that the way it comes threaded from the factory is the way it has to be threaded. These are actually really nice. These are encapsulated, so they don't go flying off into space. So these just go on there like that, and then you can change these. Ooh, and then there's this little arm here. You push the little arm aside, stick it in there, give it a little jiggle wiggle, and your band is on. Now I have to look and see whether I did this right, and that is it right-handed or left-handed. I didn't even bother with the strap instructions. If I did it wrong, doing the strap is easy. This is literally the easiest part of this whole project. The only other easy part would be opening it. Okay, let's see what it looks like on my wrist. So this is my diver. This is my DIY watch diver. And now this is my DIY Watch Mosel dress watch. I'm really happy with it so far. We'll see how well it keeps time. Actually, we probably should set the time. 2:47. So it's kind of cool because you can actually see it move. It's a little stiff actually, but that's because there's a gasket in here. At least that's what I'm telling myself. So 2 247. This type of watch is obviously a about watch. I call any watch that doesn't have hack marks on the outside, or a chapter, that doesn't have a chapter ring on the outside, that's an about watch. What time is it? Well, it's about 2:45, or it's about 2:50. So let's see. Let's see how it looks here. See, I have little, I've got little tiny wrists. Oops. Yeah, I've got little tiny wrists, so I'm going to have to actually adjust this. Now, adjusting these is relatively simple. Once again, this isn't rocket science. This is just, if you can't adjust your watch band, you should not take on this project. And I mean that. I mean that in all the best of mean ways I can be, and I am a mean person. But if you can't do this kind of shit, then this is not the hobby for you. So this actually just pops up. I don't recommend doing what I'm going to do right now, but this is the screwdriver that comes with the kit. You just pop that up, tighten it up. That's, flip it back down. You can use pegwood for that. It should, there we go, click into place. Now it's probably too tight. Yeah, it's too tight now. Is it too tight? Yeah, it's too tight by a little bit. So I need to move it back just a little bit this way. Pry it up again. Not a pry bar or chisel. Yoink. We just use it for a pry bar. Give it just a little bit more space. I like my watch to be tight. Yeah, there we go. That's a damn fine looking watch there, I think. It actually is nice sized for my wrist. I have little girly wrists, so if you look at the diver, I mean, divers are always pretty big, but it is larger than the diver. Oh. It is larger than the diver, obviously. So, but that's nice. I like it. It's very much reminds me of my Skegen. It kind of looks expensive. To me, it looks expensive. If you see somebody wearing a skeletonized mechanical watch, it's not cheap. Unless it's a fake mechanical watch, which is, they do make these in a quartz movement that looks like this, but it's actually a quartz movement. I do think I might loosen that up just a little bit more, but not much. So that's it. It's done. I just wanted to lay these down two next to each other. I can this. Yeah, they're watch parts. It's not like they take up a lot of space. Just wanted to lay the two of them down next to each other so you could see the size difference. I really like this one. It's very I think it's elegant. Yeah, I think it's pretty elegant. And you know, obviously this is Burley.